Good morning, people. It's your host today, Duke. You're not, Nate, what am I even saying? I'm the Duke, of course. So it's your host today for the preview of Manchester United versus Spurs. We do hope to have a special guest on the show, and he should be on with us very shortly. I'll obviously mention his name when he comes on, if he's actually remembered to come on the show. But yeah, Garth did a great show yesterday talking about the review of the Man United versus Newcastle game. I got to watch it, but I didn't have a chance to actually talk about it, did I? I got to watch parts of it because I was watching my son playing a match as well. So it's a bit difficult. But look, United, we weren't firing on all cylinders. That's the main part of all of that. We played okay football at times. But again, it's like that final bit that you need, the final bit of quality that you need. We just didn't have it. We didn't really have any chances to really take care of business against them. And look, it's just not good enough. It ain't good enough. I know it's a work in progress. It feels like we need someone who's a real sharpshooter up front and has legs as well. And that's Martial. Unfortunately, he's injured. The person who does have the sharpshooting doesn't have legs. That's Cristiano Ronaldo now. I know he got put through by Sancho. I'm sure it was Sancho early in the first half, and he could have played the ball through. But we are actually here. Our guest has actually joined us, so let's get the party started. Jay, how you doing?
Hi, Nathan. I'm very good, thank you. How are you, Nathan?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I was just catching up on the Newcastle game because I didn't get to say anything about it. So we're here today about the Tottenham game coming up on Wednesday. It's a big one, but Jamie, obviously, you're the founder of the Daily Hotspur as well. So we're glad to have you on the show and give your thoughts on actually how Tottenham have been doing this season so far, first of all, and then we'll talk about where you are in the league and everything else. So how do you think you guys have done? It look like you've done really well, to be fair. You're the same point to City, so you must be happy.
I mean, it's a really strange one, actually, because it's felt like a mixed season, really, for Spurs. I think performance-wise, haven't been the best, really. I think a lot of fans have kind of been, at times, we've been maybe difficult to watch, but we're still getting points and we're still getting those results. I mean, it's incredible to think that you look at this Manchester City side at the moment and how good they've been with Haaland coming to the team, and we're level 1 points with them. So it is kind of crazy to think that. So as much as it's felt like maybe a difficult season, we're getting results at the moment, and that's a really positive thing. And I think a lot of fans do kind of believe that eventually performances will come good again. I think this year we've seen maybe some key players haven't quite clicked yet. They've not maybe hit their best yet. So we're kind of thinking, well, when our top players do hit their top form, then hopefully we'll get the performances and the results. But look, at the moment, I'm not going to complain too much, because when you're level 1 points with this Manchester City team, I think it's certainly not a bad thing, is it? So very positive.
Yeah, that's a great trait to have, though, when you're not playing so well, not looking good, but you're winning games and you're up there with City. That says a lot, because when you do start popping off, like you said, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. It's weird. I think it's like Conte is doing what he does, isn't it? What he does best. He's very difficult to beat. And if you've got goals in you can nick wins. You can nick the 1-0 wins here and there, and you can get your draws where, you could normally lose. So I feel like you guys are much stronger defensively this year than previous years. And at the same time, you ain't really changed players. Like, there ain't been too many players changed. It's just he's got you guys organised. So, so another look at this table. Arsenal are top, flying high, pulling away from City somehow. And Tottenham are right there in third.
I know. It's good. I mean, I've got to be honest, obviously, as a Spurs fan, it's not nice, still not nice to see Arsenal top of the league. They're obviously having a good season. But, I mean, look, from a Spurs perspective, obviously, it is nice to kind of be in that. I mean, look, I think our main aim this year is just to continue to stay in the top 4. I think that would be really, really positive if we can do that and just continue to build. And obviously, a lot of people will kind of come here and say, Conte's not a long-term manager or a project manager, but I think, look, if he's given the tools and the club shows they're going in the right direction, and they show that eventually that they can have the capacity to win trophies, then I think he will stay. I think he can stay for a long time. We've seen him at other clubs where
Yeah.
Milan, he was obviously let down, where they were selling key players, and that's why he left. I think with Chelsea, they kind of showed towards the end of his tenure a bit of a lack of ambition there, and maybe not willing to back him so much. So that's why he left there. So I think if Spurs are to kind of show the right indications, they're going to back him. I think he can stay here, but for a while. So look, again, I think this year, I think we've got to be realistic. Even if we are sat in third place, even if Arsenal are leading the way, I do think that Manchester City are the strongest team in this division still. I do think they are going to be eventually over the 38 matches will win the league. So for Spurs this year, it's all about finishing that top four, and already we're in a comfortable position in that top four. So I'm very pleased with the start. Very pleased indeed.
Of course. So look, with Conte, look, is the way I look at it is he's got a great stadium now. He's got some really good core players. And it's about time Tottenham really did get to work in the transfer market, really go into town with the right players to really catch up. And I think they did well this season as well, bringing in the right players. Not too many big names, but the players that improved your squad and players that you think, right, you know, Perisic, for example. I like Perisic. I've always liked him. And even though he's older, he's one of them kind of experienced players you need in that side. And he'll do a job for you for fun. He's got that step over left foot and right foot fake cross. He's got it all in him. So that quality there to supply your Harry Kanes and your Sons and everyone else is there. So yeah, and we've got a comment here from King Eric. He says Martinez waiting for his dinner, Harry Kane on toast.
That'll be a good matchup. I've got to say, I mean, he's looked impressive so far this season. Martinez looked like a really good signing for United. I was a little bit sceptical. I think a lot of people obviously a bit sceptical in terms of a player coming over from there in Eredivisie and making that step up. But in Venice, he's done a good job, and he's one of a number of good signings for United as well, I think.
Yeah, and you know what's good as well from what you've said about, you know, Tottenham, you're not getting ahead of yourself thinking you're just going to go and blitz it and win the league. You're actually being realistic about it all, and that's nice to hear, you know. So the funny thing, when I was thinking of my combined 11, I'm thinking of my combined 11. You're going to be asked about it in a bit.
Ooh.
It's very, very tough. The way I've done it, you're going to be thinking, wow, how the hell have you not put enough more players in? But when I look at it, we'll talk about it. We'll see. Okay. Make sure you have your thinking cap on from now. Let's just get Real Harry Maguire says we will have to be at our best to beat Spurs, and Facebook user says yes, Duke. I'm not sure who you are, but please say your name and change the settings so you can actually you can see who you are. But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so I'm gonna give you a look at who your starting lineup was. Where is that gone? Okay, I'll have to just bring it up in a sec. 1 sec. I'll get it up in 5 seconds. So you guys obviously just won your last game against Everton 2-0. Clean sheet at home. And this was your starting lineup.
Yep.
So you guys are playing a 3-4-2-1 formation pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird one to kind of do a combined 11 when you've got that. But would you say that is your strongest 11, or would you say you'd have someone else in there as your you know that's in another position? Is there anyone in there that you think should be in your strongest 11?
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite an interesting debate at the moment at Spurs because I think the formation has been a big kind of talking point at the moment. Obviously, you showed there on screen our last lineup was a 3-4, say a 3-4-3 or whatever you want to call it. The big debate has been whether Spurs should switch to a 3-5-2 with having an extra man in midfield. That's been kind of a big talking point. Obviously, you've got Højbjerg and Bentancur in there, done really well this season, but at times it kind of feels like they can get a bit overrun. So having that extra man in there, I think, is going to really help. And that man is definitely Ibn Bissouma for me. I mean, he came into the game on the weekend, and I think you're going to take a bit of time to kind of get used to Conte's tactical system. I think Conte, or any players are going to take time to kind of to get used to such a difficult system to kind of get used to. So with Bissouma, I think he'll come in, and I do actually think he'll start against Manchester United. And I think we'll see Spurs switch to a 3-5-2.
Right.
The other big thing as well, obviously, with that system, you can only play 2 forwards, and that would mean Dejan Kulusevski missing out. He's been fantastic this season. Unfortunately, we've seen him pick up an injury, and he's missed the last couple of games. And I do think he will be out of the game on Wednesday. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you can somehow try and slot him in when he comes back fit. But I think it'll be a 3-5-2. Actually, I think we'll see a slightly different change, slightly different formation on Wednesday. But that's something that Spurs have done really well in a 3-5-2. Just having that extra man in there.
Yeah.
And Basuma was actually really positive against Everton. I said he came on. We scored twice after he came on. I thought he had a really positive impact. We saw the player that we all knew we were signing from Brighton. I thought he was, just amazing. When we were kind of really first linked with him, and I think it came out of nowhere really. We'd agreed a £25 million deal. I think Spurs fans were going crazy because we know how good this guy was at Brighton. Come to the Spurs stadium multiple times and really been fantastic against us. So really happy that we got him, and I do think we'll see him start on Wednesday in a three-man midfield.
Well, he's actually a player we wanted to get because, as you know, we were screaming out for a defensive midfielder, and he was one that was like, wow, you could get him for quite cheap. Very good player, knows the league, and we were just hoping that we got him, and you guys got him. So it was another one where we were like, wow, you guys are making some astute signings, to be fair. But look, you've got him now, and we've got our Casemiro, so I'm still happy with that. Yep. Although he's on the older side, we'd like to have someone younger that can play for many more years to come. Yep. But hopefully, we're leaving the door open for the likes of we know who from Dortmund. I know he's not a defensive side kind of like that, but you know what he's all about. But yeah, we've got King Eric saying Martinez has to start in the combined 11. We'll get to that. Bentancur is quality. Willy van Persie says.
I mean, for me, actually, Bentancur, he's been really, really good this year, actually, for Spurs. And again, another signing, obviously, recent signing for Spurs. I mean, in fairness, Spurs, our recruitment since Paratici came in, obviously, we saw him coming as a sporting director summer before last. And he's done a really good job because he's bringing the likes of Christian Romero. Obviously, we had last January transfer window where we had Dejan Kulusevski and Bentancur come in, and that really helped us get up the line in the rest of the top four. Yeah. And summer again, we've had another good summer, as you said, where brought in Perisic, Basuma, just lots of really good signings. So yeah, it's obviously been very positive in terms of the transfer window so far. But of course, it does need to continue now. Obviously, we're a couple of players short from really being able to compete for trophies, but it's been very positive in the transfer window.
You are now looking like that side for me. But when I always look to you guys, you were the inconsistent guys. You always play the big boys and get beat. Yeah. But now you're beating who you're supposed to beat. That's the different thing now. And then it's about the big boys. Now, are you going to make that next step and start beating the big boys as well? That's when you obviously then can challenge. So we've just got a few more here. Got Prince from Boys Brigade. I used to be in Boys Brigade back in the day. So big up, Prince. Good to see you. And we've got our own actual Spurs fan that comes on our show every week. Yeah. And always talks about Spurs. And I always post it for him. He always says, "Come on, you Spurs." Yes. And he loves you as well. Jamie Brown, legend. So yeah, make sure you must know him already anyway, because I know you're a big time Spurs fan. So love to have you in here anyway. I love having you in here and bantering us as well. So no problem. I hope you come back after the game as well and show your face after the game as well. Love Spurs away, a great game. Albert Higginbottom says, and Cockroach Forever says, Romero is streets baller. Streets better than Martinez. Okay. Dyer's been playing well. That's the big statement, to be fair. That's a very big statement. So let's just take a look at our last starting 11. I'll just have a quick chat about that. As you know, we started against Newcastle on Sunday. Yeah. I felt we had the majority of the ball, but we didn't really do enough with it. We didn't really, again, it was wasteful in attack. Fred really kind of what he's weak with in terms of going forward. We lost a bit of that attack from Eriksen, but we did gain a little bit of strength defensively with him in there. Sancho did well, but again, Cristiano had no legs when he was putting him through. Bruno really quiet, and Anthony is working hard. And he actually, this time, what I love to see about Anthony was he was burning people down the line this time. And it's the first time I've seen him put the burners on. So I was really, really happy with that. And do you think
we're going to see Eriksen on Wednesday? I know a lot of Spurs fans. So. Obviously, we loved him. I was actually watching the game with a Manchester United fan, and he was kind of saying, why is Eriksen not playing against Newcastle? So do you think we're going to see him on Wednesday?
Of course, we're gonna see him. We're seeing him right now. He's coming. He's coming to play for sure. If he's not injured, he's definitely got to play in that game because that's his old team. And you know what happens when the old players plays against their old team. So
I'm scared.
Do
you know what? A lot of Spurs fans, I'll be honest, a lot of Spurs fans are kind of wondering why we didn't go back for him, or didn't try and go back for him. I mean, you never know, obviously, what happened behind the scenes, but we might have tried, and maybe he wanted that new challenge. He did seem like a player that always kind of wanted to try new things. Obviously, he went to Inter Milan. Maybe he wanted to go to Manchester United. So obviously Spurs fans disappointed, and it's very sad to see him in a United shirt. But obviously, great.
It's a bit tough though, isn't it? Sometimes you want to change, you want to try something different, and that's probably what he wanted. It's nice to see him because I've always liked him, and I've always thought when we was linked with him even before, I was like, I would be able to play like him in our side, just anyone. And he's come now, and he's playing a bit deeper as well, so it's a bit of a weird one. But I'm getting used to him in there. But let's have a little think about this the formation we're going to use because it's a bit of a weird one. Because I'm going with our formation.
Yeah.
Because you guys are more used to having the players can also play in our formation, but you've never seen our players really playing yours. So I think we'll have to go with. I've got my team. I've got my picture, but I don't want to bring it up. I want you to talk about yours. Then I'll bring mine up. I think that might be the best way to do it.
So what formation are you allowing me to pick? I don't mind. I've got a team in mind. I've got a fullback. I'm going to go for a fullback, but
4-3-3. You think 4-3-3?
I think 4-3-3. Fair enough. I think that's probably fair enough.
Right. So we'll go with goalkeeper. Are you going with Lloris or this man? Let me know.
It's a tough one. I think both of these guys kind of at points in their careers have, really been up there as one of the best in the world. Obviously, De Gea has definitely had his time as being up there. I'm going to go for Hugo Lloris. I will be totally honest. I think in terms of I think the one area where Lloris has always been let down, and I think the reason why he's never got that move to a really, really big club is because of his distribution. He just can't seem to. Definitely, if he was an outfield player, he just had no chance of being a professional footballer. But shot stopping wise, I think he is genuinely very, very good. Like I think saving wise, one of the best in the world without doubt. I'm saying his distribution lets him down, but I think there's been so many times still where he's made some unbelievable saves which have won us points. So I'm going to go for Hugo Lloris, but I think it's such a close one. I think it really could go for either.
Yeah, well, let me tell you what I was thinking. Exactly the same thing you were saying, but I didn't know a lot more about Hugo Lloris's feet, so his footwork. So I was thinking, let me put Lloris in there. I put Lloris in there first, and then I was like, wait a minute, but De Gea's still sick. Like shot stopping, he's still sick. So then I was like, let me put him back in because they're pretty much the same. I don't mind you saying you'd take Lloris over him, and I wouldn't have thought you'd mind me saying De Gea over him. It's kind of like a 50-50. It doesn't matter who goes in.
I agree.
Either way, let's have it as a draw. I would say that's a draw.
Yeah.
But look, let's go with Lloris because of my team I've got. I'm taking the pick a little bit, so I'm going to go with Lloris. What we got here, Larry412 says, my wife is a Spurs. She says we'll get beat 3-3. How's that possible? For women, 3-3 is the win.
Oh, okay.
Oh my days. Okay. Right. Yes, that was my person at Bingo. So yeah, let's go with Lloris. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Right back. Who are you going with right back then?
Tricky one. Do you know what? It's been a weird one for Spurs. I was really worried about this position this season for Spurs. I think we had obviously Jed Spence come in. He's not really seemed to have been in favour with Antonio Conte, so we've not seen enough of him. Emerson Royale. I'm not going to say anything about Emerson Royale because I'm not Emerson Royale's biggest fan. I have to admit. Matt Doherty's an interesting one. I actually think he's going to be. Last season, obviously, he finished really strong, and then he picked up that injury against Aston Villa, and that ruled him out for the rest of the season, and that's why he's going to struggle to come back into the team. When he's playing in that right wing back position, I think he is genuinely really good. He was really good against Everton, and that's been a huge positive. That for me was probably the biggest positive from the weekend was Matt Doherty's performance. Conte
Yeah.
gave him a massive hug after the game and looked really happy with him. So that's going to be positive. But I actually would probably go with the man on the screen, Dallo. I think he's,
Right.
really kind of coming back into form. And if you're talking about an actual right back, I think you would definitely go with Dallo over Matt Doherty.
Yeah.
And he's been good this year, Dallo. I've been pretty impressed with him. So,
Yeah.
I would probably go with Dallo as my pick for the right back spot.
Yeah, that's that. I'm happy that you've agreed with me there. So I've gone with Dallo because I was thinking this man, Jed Spence. I was thinking, look, if he was playing, he'd have probably got ahead.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been playing as much. He was on the bench. He's come on. He
Shame,
hasn't
yeah.
done as much. Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I gotta say Dallo. He's
Yeah.
sorry.
Dallo's my pick. Dallo's my pick. I mean, I agree as well. Jed Spence, such a shame that we haven't seen enough of him. Obviously, again, I think it is going to take time for a player like Jed Spence to kind of come in and understand to a contest system. I said it,
Yeah.
any player that was going to come into that team was going to take time to kind of settle in and get used to it. Conte really has to trust the players that he's using. And obviously, we've seen him persist with Emerson Royal. Maybe his performances haven't been the best, but he clearly trusts him. And that's something that's important for Conte. So, yeah, that's why we haven't seen Jed Spence. But yeah, Dallo would be my pick for the right back spot.
Right, I'm happy there because he has had a very good season this season so far. He's actually showed us what Jose Mourinho said he was gonna be, and I think that helped because he's got a proper structure around him and he's got some real good players playing around him at the moment. It's allowing him to do his job and focus on that alone. And the distribution, barring the last two games, has been very, very good. Defensively, he's improved a lot. I think going out on loan to Milan last year, the year before, was definitely something that he needed to do. And so he's getting in that right back spot. Crocker Lever says Royale isn't great. LOL. So we're going centre back. You know what? Who is your main centre back that you want to choose? Because I'm going to put Varane there. But
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, for me, without shadow of a doubt, I think Romero. Well, from a Spurs perspective, Romero. I think that he's definitely the one that would put in there. And you want my other centre back?
Yep.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm going to go with the United guy here. I'd either pick between Martinez or Varane, but I think you'd probably. I'm going to go Varane, to be honest, because I just think, given what he's done in his career, I think he's just unbelievable. He's had an amazing career, and I still think he's a very good player. So I would go Varane and Romero. I think it looks like we might have agreed there.
So this guy, I've gone with. So you're going with these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm going with my back two. My back two are looking.
Are you? Whoa.
My back two probably own. Maybe I'm a bit biased because I watch them all the time, and I don't know how Romero's doing. So that's probably why. But at the same time, you guys are in third for a reason. So I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna allow you to have. Not allow you, but allow you on the show because it's about that. I can just but I can understand why you've got him in. That's what I'll say. I'll understand why you got him in, and that's what I mean. My team doesn't have too many Tottenham players in, but because you know what you're talking about, you're gonna be giving me some light on it and giving me a thought to think about. And again, if Romero got to be in there. If I'm going to choose one Man United player, it's got to be Varane because he shores everything up. So let's go Varane and Romero. I don't mind that. And look at that. Paul James says Romero and Varane will be a week.
100%. Well, I mean, it'll be interesting at the World Cup. Obviously, looks like we'll probably see Romero and Martinez as a back in the two centre backs for Argentina. And
yes.
I'm liking the look of Argentina a lot. I think they've got some really good players in there. Martinez, again, I think I said at the start of the show, he's really impressed me this year. So I think it's fair enough.
That's fair. That's fair. So we've got. Wait, we'll go back through it afterwards, and we'll see what's what. So for your team, of course, and then mine's already on a picture already made, so I'm going to wait for that. So we've got the centre back pairing sorted, and we're going with left back. So your left back, whoever you want to choose, or let's go with Shaw because he's a player playing at the moment. So versus Shaw playing the way he's playing right now.
Ooh, so obviously, I mean, it's a weird one because our pick would be Perisic. The only issue with Perisic is he is very much a left wing back. He is a
Yeah.
winger. He's more an attacker than he is a defender.
So don't you want to put him up against like a winger of ours, or you just?
Oh well, I think we got a nice selection of left wingers, so I think I might save one of them for later on.
Ooh.
So are we going for a functional? If we're going for a functional team, I think you'd have to give it to one of the United boys. I think it would be. Yeah, I think. Would you go Shaw? Yeah.
I'll go Shaw because he's a left back. Perisic is a top player for me. I think a few years ago, I'd have even put him on a left wing. But now, he's getting older. If I was picking a team right now, I wouldn't be putting him left back.
Yeah, I think functional. Like if you're picking a functional team, you'd definitely go on the United boys, and you. So I'd agree with Luke Shaw, to be fair.
Yeah. But if we did have the 3-4-3, he would be my left side wing back for sure, because he's got that legs to get up and down. He's got the quality to put balls in, and the back three will do their job. So yeah, it is one of them ones.
Fair enough then, because I don't think, and you then maybe look at Ben Davies as the left back for Spurs, and I
don't think them guys are. I don't think them guys are ready for doing what they're doing. The only other player that I like, I know he's young, but Ryan Sessegnon, he's a good player. Yeah. I like his legs and getting forward. He's very good attacking. So he's another wing back type. I would have thought is more like a wing back, isn't he? So he's someone I'll be looking at like that. But apart from that, to be fair, Shaw's still going to be just ahead of him.
I would give it to Shaw. I think if you're picking a back four, I think Shaw's definitely the guy to go for.
Yeah. So you've got the difficult one now. It's the central defensive midfield. You've got this man or this man.
Do you know what?
Or you got this man. Where is he? If I can find him, I can see him properly before I end up picking the wrong man.
No, this is an interesting.
No, I don't think I got him in here yet. I don't think I got him. I got to find him. God, I'm talking about Højbjerg. So there he is. And Dyer, we've got Dyer hanging about. Dyer was at the back as well. We're not going to use him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But that's Dyer and that's Højbjerg.
Here he is.
Got him as well. Which one? Which one are you choosing?
Okay. So I'm going to be honest. It's Casemiro. I'm going to go Casemiro.
Thank you.
I mean, Højbjerg has been Højbjerg for me has been actually our player of the season. I'll be totally honest. Højbjerg has been our best player. So it's very difficult not to pick him, but it's a bit like Varane. Like he's just so good. For me, Casemiro is the guy to go with. As much as it's difficult to turn down.
To be fair, he's come through. He's come in now, and he's showing his class straight away from what he's just won. He's just won the World Cup. He's just won the Champions League and the Man of Match.
Fifth time as well, was it?
Yeah.
So how many you got now?
You can't argue
that,
can you?
Exactly.
That's another one. Right. So now you've got like another central midfielder, and it's your man. It's your old man that's got to be put up against whoever you want to put him up against. This man's been on absolute fire this year for us. He's been probably our player of the season, one of our player of the season.
I'd agree. Actually, I mean, I said it. Spurs fans looked at him and thinking the form that he's been in. It's just so disappointing we didn't go for him. I mean, obviously we talked about maybe why he decided to go to United, but. He's been brilliant. And again, another one. Unfortunately, I would agree. I would put Eriksen in. I think if I was to kind of go with a Spurs player here, it would be Bentancur. But Eriksen, I just think Eriksen's kind of has been really good for you. Yeah, there is. He's had a really good season, and again, another really positive signing for Spurs. But I think Eriksen is just a class above. So I'd go Eriksen.
Yeah, I'm happy you're saying that as well, because it's exactly what I have as my team. Cockles Forever says Bissouma should be in this team. I am kind of with you on that in defensive midfielder. If you went for two, I'd have Bissouma and Casemiro defensive. So it's another one of them things. They'd definitely be in my squad for sure, because he'd definitely do a job for the team. But again, it's like if you want an attacking with a midfield, but one that can do kind of both. But I think Eriksen's got to fit in there. You can't take Eriksen out.
Yeah.
He only got you in there. I wish Bazuma's in our fit midfield. You see, Højbjerg is good, but he's no Casemiro.
Yeah.
Deco signing of the season. So yeah, it's so that's the two in the middle.
Okay.
So now you got the right, the left, and the middle. Right.
Ooh.
So let's go with the left because we know who's on the left. We know
Yes.
we're not even thinking. We're not going to talk. We're just going to say he's in there.
He's definitely in there. He's definitely in there. I mean, it's been a tough season for him, to be fair. He's definitely not been at his best this year, but look, he's still got kind of getting involved with some goals. So we saw them get that hat trick against Leicester. Scored that brace in the Champions League as well last midweek. So he's still kind of still showing his class, even though he's maybe not been his best this year. But yeah, I mean, what a player! Absolutely,
he's an unbelievable player. Yeah, but it must be mentioned because Rashford has come back this year and he's bagged a lot of goals and he's done very well. The only difference is he's not played very well in the first few games, but he scored.
Okay.
Now he's playing very well and not scoring. So he needs to merge the two together, and he would possibly, if you're talking about form, you could say,
it's 100%. It's been nice to see Rashford actually getting back into form. I was a little bit because he had that drop off, didn't he? Where I felt a bit like maybe he'd been playing so much football, and I kind of felt just early on in his career when I was a little bit worried that maybe because he's played all that football so early on in his career that maybe that was maybe starting to take a bit of a toll on him. But yeah, he's obviously been really good this year. Got that was it a brace against Arsenal, was it? I was loving that. So
that was absolutely amazing.
But I think the Son does still edge it. I'll be honest.
Son wins it. Let's put his face back up again because I want to see him there. Bad man, absolutely bad.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go to the middle. I don't know who you've got in there that you want to put up against him, but let's take a look at that side again. What your side looking like again? Let's see.
This is a tricky one, to be fair, because obviously Spurs don't really play with a number 10.
So it's Bruno versus Bruno, then, isn't it?
Like
Bruno might win that.
No. Whoa. Are we good?
You can put someone up against him if you want. Whoever you want to put up against him, that's fine. I don't mind.
Do you know what I was thinking? Because the right wing spot's going to be let's save the right wing debate. I think the right wing debate's going to be tricky. I would maybe put one of the guys up against him. Who would we pick? I think just for the sake of it, I'm going to go for Richarlison here. Obviously, not quite a number 10, but
okay.
Two attackers. I only go with Richarlison here because I want to save the right wing debate because I think that's going to be an interesting one. I think it could be a bit of a debate there. But Richarlison, I mean, obviously, if you're going for a functional team, you still would pick Bruno Fernandes here. I mean, would you even bring Eriksen up into the number 10 role? Because what I might do is if we are going for a 4-2-3-1, I would probably be tempted to bring Eriksen into the number 10 role and then maybe pick Højbjerg alongside Casemiro because obviously, you've then got a guy who's been really solid this season.
Yeah.
And then you've got just that unreal class in Casemiro as the two.
You know what?
Eriksen.
I'm going to go with you with that. You know why? Because I'm not really liking Bruno's output this season. I'm liking the fact that he's much more reliable and he's the captain. He's doing okay. But he hasn't been the player that, that scores that amount of goals anymore. For some reason, he's not scoring. He's not assisting at the crazy levels. So he is below his levels, and let's put Eriksen up there. Let's throw Højbjerg in. If he's been the player of the season, he deserves to be in there.
I have to be honest. I mean, for me, Højbjerg would 100% go. I mean, I would have to put Højbjerg somewhere in this team because, as I said, he's just been so good this year for Spurs.
Yeah.
And the thing with Højbjerg, actually, I know there's a lot of people kind of put him as a holding midfielder, but he does offer so much more than that. And we saw actually on the weekend when Basuma came in and was maybe sitting a bit deeper, it allowed for Højbjerg to get forward a bit more, and we saw him go and get a goal. So Højbjerg is a guy who's maybe a little bit underrated in terms of his all-round game. I've been really, really pleased with Højbjerg this year. So I think that's maybe the change I would look to make is having Casemiro and Højbjerg as that midfield partnership, and then I would bring Eriksen into that number 10 role.
Well, Cockles forever says that I've been Højbjerg in Bruno's position. I don't know about that.
That's what I'm number 10, but
That's a bit
I
bad.
mean, you could obviously have like a 4-3-3 or whatever. But if we are going for a 4-2-3-1, I would I'd swap Ericsson and Højbjerg around and have Højbjerg as kind of the deeper one and number 10. I can even say Fabian Ruiz. So is De Jong.
Well, I've got this one. I think it came from here. So Exhibit says, I'm not tired to say this to you guys. I'm not trying to say this to you guys. If we sign Fabian Ruiz, we will go through this season at ease. Look at him before and now in PSG, DM, Cam, 10, false 9. What's wrong with our scouting team?
Probably gonna, I mean, obviously he signed for PSG this year and doing pretty well in their team. Obviously PSG, I think they moved quite clear at the top of the league last night when they beat Marseille. So he's been a good signing for them, Fabian Ruiz. And I think he was at Napoli for quite a while, and obviously a lot of teams kind of overlooked him. But yeah, that's an interesting player.
Right, so wait a minute. Who's on your right here now then? So you got Richarlison. Right,
so there was Richarlison. So Richarlison was obviously the guy that started there, but for me, 100%, the Spurs pick here, and this is why I'm really interested by this one because we know how good he's been this year. So I think this one has to be Kulusevski versus Anthony. And I know, I don't know how much United fans love him. He's really impressed me
right now. I don't know what we can do right now because he's on it.
This is a tough one because I'll be totally honest. Kulusevski is unbelievable. Like I think his all-round game in terms of creating chances. He can score goals. This is an interesting one. Who are you going with here? Because
what?
Kulusevski.
It says it all that I haven't got his I don't even. You know what?
I mean, if then
I can't remember what he looks like. To be fair, I know it's him, but this isn't him, is it? This is
Kulusevski. No, this is Kulusevski.
This is him. Yes, I've got him. I have.
There he is.
So you're talking him. Come on, you guys on the sidelines. What you say in comments? Anthony or Kulusevski this year on this year's form and performances. What are we going with, guys? What we got here? I got Martial instead of Kane, but Martial without glass leg. True.
Whoa.
Kane's been killing it though. I can't ever put him ahead of him based on being able to score goals because Kane wins that. So I'm not even going to say that. But I know what you mean in terms of ability on the ball, dribbling ability, link up play like that. I think I like the Martial type of stuff. But if you want to talk about goals, it's Harry Kane all day. All day. Calls. What? We got Kulusevski ahead of Anthony, yeah? Right.
Do you know what?
You guys, put your name down so we can read how many calls and how many Anthonys. This is a Man United show, guys. Come on back.
Come on, guy. Come on. Surely, where's the Spurs fan gone? He's got to back me up, surely. Nah, it's a tricky one because obviously Anthony's got a good record, isn't he? I think it's three. It's like three. Was it 3 goals in 4 or 3 goals in 5? He started really well.
Kulusevski now, yeah, he didn't score last game. So
Kulusevski's. I mean, Kulusevski. Yeah, Kulusevski had a really good start to the season. Picked up that injury though. Wait, Anthony. What?
Wait a minute. We've got a Man United supporter here saying he's not picking Anthony.
Interesting. That's interesting.
That's already 3-1. I'm dead. If no one comes to help me, I'm dead. I'm out of here.
No, I mean, do you know what?
It's one of them ones again, innit? I think it's one of them ones again. It's whoever you want. Like it could be a draw. For Man United supporters, most of them should say, you know what? There's no way I'm letting Anthony out of here. He's one of our players that's just come in and been the main guy. Anthony, one trick poke. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Bag 3 goals, all the same types as well.
That sounded like that's an Arsenal. Is that an Arsenal fan gonna go? It sounds like I might be an Arsenal fan, so it's not looking good.
The new name though, so make sure you like and subscribe, people.
Yeah.
So you share this, and it's been actual fun so far, and let's continue this. Right, let's see what they say at the end. Yeah, let's leave that up to like a half and half. That's a 50-50. Although you're winning on the comment at the moment. Anthony shouldn't even be a debate. So what are you saying then, Sir Alex? Are you saying yes or no? Anthony and then comma shouldn't be a debate. Or are you saying Anthony shouldn't be a debate? I don't know which one you're saying. Exhibit says, I'm a United fan for a long time, but don't want to defend our player if they play bad. I don't want to be a delusional person. Good. And you're right. I saw him as one trick for the time being, but he kept scoring. And then he now is playing a bit better. So again, he's improving and he's now going down the outside. So Alex has gone on my side. So that is now 3-2. We need one more. Exhibit, thank you for being on their side. Yeah, thank you. Go on.
I mean, as well. I mean, last season as well. I mean, Kulusevski kind of came into the team and was a really big reason why Spurs did eventually get over the line in the race to the top four. I think he just kind of added that real third dimension to Spurs' attack. I mean, that was something that we were missing. You had Kane and Son, they were unbelievable, but Kulusevski came in and was really, really good, added to that a lot. Creative-wise, he just seems so good. I mean, his crosses are just unbelievable. There's a number of times when he's whipped the ball into the box, picked out the likes of Kane or Son. So I think if you obviously it's been tricky. I think it would be tricky just to pick Anthony at the moment, just because he's not quite played enough games in the Premier League. But
you know what? I'll give you it. You got it. I'm not no mad.
If I'm being honest, Nathan, I'll be honest. If I'm being honest with this one, I would say with Kulusevski, I would say I really would have to have him in the team, because obviously Kane and Son are probably, and maybe you'd argue the likes of Varane or Casemiro are like guaranteed for United. I would really want to say that if any of the debatable ones, Kulusevski 100%.
Well, that's all now.
Wait.
1, 2, me, and wait a second. Is there a third or is there a fourth? No, it's 3-3. It's actually 3-3. We got one more to say something. If someone else got to say something, let us know, because it's going to be the final decision. I've actually accepted defeat. And not even defeat. I've accepted that it's at least 50-50. But if you were really having to pick someone, I'm going to give it to him, because Kulusevski has killed it last year. And I do rate him highly because of what he did last year. I don't know why he's not playing all the time at the moment. But look, he's a top player. He's a top player, mate. And I know what you're talking about. So it's not like, what's he saying that to me for? But yeah, I can't put my foot down. I'm not that kind of guy, man. I got to say how it is. So we're going to this striker spot, and I'm going with this man. No, I'm not. Don't be serious.
Oh, nearly.
So it's either it's from that man, or this man, if I can find him. Yeah, I'm sure he's around. He's hanging about somewhere and he's scoring goals in his sleep. That guy there.
Here he is. There he is. Mate.
Yeah. Harry Kane wins, hands down, because we want him in our side. We always wanted him. And look, we got a team now that if he was to come here, last year I said that I didn't want him in our side because we wouldn't be able to provide chances for him. And we wouldn't be the type of player that would fit our football at the time, because we were Moments FC, where we had to do something out of nothing. And he's not that kind of player. He's a player that give him a sniff, it's a goal. Don't give him no sniff, there's no point in being on the pitch. So, you know, he's one of them players. His finishing is top notch, like unbelievable. So
I think he's there's
Ooh.
No.
It is a Man United channel, to be fair. I'm gonna put up my team anyway, but let's have it as a draw. No worries. We'll have it as a draw. Thanks, Dum. Sorry. I don't even have to say your name, so why did he dum did he do? Oh, it's 4-4.
West, well, I'll rate that, Liam.
It's 4-4. It's 4-4.
Liam, nice ball.
Harry Kane wins. Tell me why Harry Kane wins in your mind.
Harry yeah, I mean, obviously, your record, I'm going to say it anyway. I mean, look, his record speaks for himself. I think I do believe he'll eventually catch Alan Shearer's record of most Premier League goals. Obviously, that would be an unbelievable achievement. Oh, here we go. We've got some Spurs comments coming in now. Oh, we should have cut it. No, I mean, I'm saying Kulusevski is, we love him. But, just on Kane, I mean, he's obviously it's been a weird season for him, because you've got Haaland coming in and scoring so many goals. I'm going to say something maybe it's a little bit controversial. I believe that if Harry Kane was in that Manchester City team, I think he'd score as many goals as Haaland's scoring.
You know what? That's not controversial at all.
I know a lot of people. I do think obviously there will be people that would disagree with that, but I just think that I think if you suddenly here we go. Yes, Jack, here they come. Let's keep them coming in, guys. I love it. I love it. The comments know ball. They know ball. I love it.
Well, I've agreed. Yeah, I've agreed. It's over. It's over. It's done deal.
Yeah. So I mean, Harry Kane. I mean, he's been slightly overshadowed by Mr. Erling, but yeah, still having a good season. I think he's on 9 now for the season. I think it's 9 or 10. Here we go. Here we go. They're now coming in. Here they are.
Are they all your people coming on our show? What's going on?
Yes, Kulusevski. They know it. Well, I mean, look, the comments are spoken. I think we have to go with the comments. I think that'll only be fair enough. So,
I agree. It's done anyway. Thanks, guys. It's done now. The poll is finished. Yeah, you can stop now. You can stop.
Nah, keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. We love it. But yeah, obviously, I think it's a really solid team. I think you've got some really experienced guys in there. Obviously, seen the likes of Varane, Harry Kane now as an experienced player, Casemiro.
Let's get them up. Let's
go.
So we have Lloris in goal.
Oh, we're going for Lloris. We're going for Lloris. Good. I like that.
Lloris in goal. I'm going with Lloris in goal. We've got left back Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
We've got centre back. You said, who did you say it was now? Royale, didn't you? You said Royale.
Romero, Christian Romero. Yeah.
Romero.
The other question I just have for you is Varane or Martinez? I mean, would you say based on this season as well? Would you say Martinez or Varane?
Varane brings the security around what Martinez does.
Fair enough.
Martinez is like the Rottweiler, and if he gets beat, Varane's there to look after him and save him.
That's true.
And this is the problem what we had when he was paired with Maguire. There was nobody. They both need help, if you get what I mean. Martinez don't need help in that way, but you need a bigger guy to be controlling everything, and Maguire can't control anything, so he needs help.
Yeah, was it? I think if I remember right, I think it was the Leicester game. Was it the Leicester game when you won 1-0? And I think Varane came back into the team, and you just kind of saw how much assured that United defense looked when he was back in that team. So yeah, I mean, thinking about it, I was thinking about Martinez as maybe the other centre back, but again, what he's done in his career, and as you said there, kind of what he brings to that United team, Varane.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Varane, we've got Romero, and then we've gone with right back Dello. Yeah, right back. Then we've gone in central midfield. We've got Casemiro along with Højbjerg. We said Højbjerg. So Højbjerg is there. I'm trying to look at him. He's got so small pictures. I don't know what the hell I've done with the size of his eyes. Yeah. So Højbjerg is in there with him.
Such a good. I mean, it's such a good midfield. Honestly, I mean, Casemiro. Yeah, again, just like pure class. And then Højbjerg this year. I don't know what he's been doing over the summer, but he's kind of come back and he's been really, really impressive for us. Again, I said for me, our player of the season so far. So. Yeah,
you've killed me here, You've killed me because you've got Son on the left, Kulusevski on the right, and Kane up front.
There he is.
Team.
Team.
Where's Eriksen? Oh, Eriksen in the hole.
Eriksen, number 10. We put him number 10, didn't we? We put him number 10.
Eriksen gets in the hole.
I mean,
But look, here's a few comments. Katie Ronnie Rooney says, get Jamie back on the end of the season and he will put Anthony in. We'll definitely get him in for the return leg for sure. Jack Pond says, exhibit Kane is so much better than Ronaldo currently. That's for sure. No chance, Jack. Kane over Ronaldo. That's for sure. At the moment, obviously. Are you 12? Look what Kane's service did and what Ronaldo's service did. Are you 9? Again.
Yes.
One who provides a service. You donkey. All right, guys. All right. Chill out.
Come on, guys.
Legends on screen. Here's the thing, though. Yeah. If Cristiano was in Man City, he'd be banging 30 plus. Kane 30 plus, and obviously Haaland's already doing it, banging 30 plus by Christmas. So It's madness. But yeah, I think that any of these players, they're so good finishing wise that they're going to score 30 plus in a team like City that just create on the plate 2 yards out a goal out away from the goal chances.
Yeah, I think there is a case with Haaland where obviously it might be a bit harsh to say just given the service, because I still think with Haaland he's getting in the right positions.
Yes.
He always knows where to be. You know, it's just his movements very intelligent. His finishing is very good as well. I think I think someone did a comparison of chances that were created for Gabriel Jesus, and it was like almost identical, and he was missing them, and then it was videos of Haaland putting them in. So yeah,
this is what I mean, though.
Still finishing.
We're talking about the top of the top finishers here. Harry Kane, Cristiano, Haaland, they're all top of the top finishers. So put any of those three in, they do that job, if you got me. Jesus won't because he misses too many, and none of the others will because they're nowhere near them levels. I think they're like top of the top finishers. They're in the brackets of your Van Pees and your Agueros and all them kind of boys because they're like, give them a sniff and it's a goal. Like an inch of the angle, that's getting put in. You know, that's unbelievable. So that's what I mean. I know exactly what you mean there. That's what I want to say, Nathan. Look, Haaland, he gets the service he wants, and look, Ronaldo, what he gets, what service. Selfish winger, selfish. We don't have ability to put balls in the way these other teams do. That's why we don't. Cristiano sitting there wondering what the hell's going on. He's shaking his head, coming off because these boys, Anthony should be providing perfect service. Rashford should, but they're not that kind of player. They're just not. They're not creators. Like in terms of, you know what we're talking about, that kind of creator.
Yeah.
Anthony, what's he want to do? Comes inside, he wants to shoot, or come inside and try and loop a ball back post every now and again. Rashford will get down past you, then he'll have to cut back because he don't want to use his left foot ever, and then he'll cross any ball in which isn't really anything. Yeah. But when you look at the boys, you look at the Kulusevski, for example, he's looking for your man and he will find you. Yeah. De Bruyne, find you. You talk about wingers now. Foden will find you. He'll put balls in areas. And what's his name?
Bernardo.
The little Bernardo. Oh my goodness me, Bernardo. He's unreal. Gundogan.
Even like the holding midfielder, Rodri, he's like picking, he's still able to pick out a pass. So it's the chances that team is going to create is amazing. So
yeah. So let me show you the team I picked before we had a chat, because it's changed completely. It has changed now. Well, that was my team, but you can see my bench.
Whoa!
No, sorry. Wait a minute. What's happened here? Sorry. I messed up. I didn't even do it right. That was I basically made my team that I want to start.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see what you've done.
Then I messed up and not changed it. No. So, you got your boys down there, but forget that one. So here's my predicted 11 for the game, because I think it would make a few changes. I think we're going to go with that if Martial is fit. Because he's only a back problem from last week, and I'm thinking he should have got over that, some spasms, whatever it is.
You know what? One of the players that I'm worried about, and I know a lot of United fans maybe might think, "Whoa, okay, that's a bit strange," because he's not been great this year. Ronaldo is always someone that scares me against Spurs. Always scores.
Yeah, I know.
Always scores against Spurs. Even for Real Madrid, even when we played them in the Champions League for Real Madrid, he still scored against us. I don't think anyone can forget last year's performance at Old Trafford. Obviously, got that unreal hat trick. So got that unbelievable goal again to kind of kickstart that hat trick. I think that was the goal he scored from a long way out, and then I think we kept coming back, and then I kept getting. I remember I wasn't able to watch that game, but I remember I kept getting pings on my phone. Spurs equalised, and then bang, Ronaldo's come and scored again. So
it was unbelievable. Yeah, to be fair, you'll probably play up front and Martial on the bench. Come to think of it, if he comes back, if it's a back injury, I was thinking he might start him because he might be back now.
Malacia as well is another good shout. I think you'd say you'd pick him over Luke Shaw.
Here's the thing: I'm playing this game because Shaw just played on Sunday, and then we've got Chelsea again, haven't we? We got Chelsea on Sunday. I think it's Sunday as well.
Right, wow.
We need to be ready, and the fact that I thought that he was going to start with Rashford, and then I saw Sancho playing, it made me think he's trying to mix it up between the weeks. So I'm trying to guess what he's going to do here, and I was thinking Dalot was going to come out before, and he's not taking him out at all. So
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
Malacia can come in here. McTominay was suspended in the last game, so he should maybe come in for maybe Fred, because I think he offers a bit more than Fred, even attacking wise, than Fred.
Okay. Okay. And
So
no
I
Ericsson
don't,
as well.
defensively that would be strong, because if Ericsson's not playing, is he at the moment? So if he's back,
Yeah.
if he's actually able to play, he wasn't even on the bench. So I don't know what's up there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. I do
So
remember saying that. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
yeah,
I'd be. I have to admit, I'd be very pleased. As much as I love seeing Ericsson, I would be very happy not to see him involved
yeah.
on Wednesday because.
You know what is likely to happen if he does play. He's going to score. I'm going to put him in my scorers list if he plays, though. But this is the thing.
Yeah.
I expect this team, if Martial is fit and McTominay's back inside. But again, it can all change. You just got to go with what you got to go with, innit? And that's that. But are you seeing any change from your side?
Yeah.
From you saying that you're not going to be like this, you're going to be a different way. What are you
Yeah,
thinking? Going to be
I think there
different?
will. Yeah, I think there's going to be some changes. There will definitely be an enforced change, and that's going to be Richarlison. He picked up I think it was was it I think
Thigh strain.
well, obviously, and crutches. So
Right.
little bit of concern for the World Cup. I mean, he's for Brazil. He's been really good. I think this
Yes,
year.
he
He's got
has.
like 7 in 9 this year for
Isn't he
Brazil.
preferred over Anthony on the right at times?
I think he's actually been playing as like a central striker. To be fair, but I think they might mix it up. So you could be right. I'm not 100%. I'm really
Right.
been
We'll have a look at that. We'll have a check.
watching them, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, I mean, he's been scoring lots of goals for Brazil. Actually, right-handed, the right side for Richarlison. He's not kind of in his best position. That's where he's been playing for Spurs, but
Yeah.
it's not really worked from there. I think if you are going to play him, he's either a left-sided player, which is impossible to get in that position because of Son, and then obviously Harry Kane up front. So those are his two preferred positions. So he's kind of been shoehorned into the team a bit. But anyway,
So
yeah,
you
he's
put
going to.
Kulusevski in then, yeah? Is that what you're saying, yeah?
See, the thing is, if Kulusevski, I'm going to be totally honest, I'll say it right now. If Kulusevski is in there, you might be in a little bit of trouble because I rate him that highly.
Right.
I have a little bit of a concern that he's not going to be in there. He picked up, he looked like he was back in training, but he then picked up another slight knock, missed the weekend's match, and he's now a doubt for that game. But I'm actually going to go for a change of shape for Spurs. I think we're going to go for a 3-5-2. I think we'll see Basuma come in for Richarlison and slot in as an extra man in midfield. I think we'll see Kane and Son start up front. We'll see that would leave us with midfield of Basuma, Benson, Ku, and Højbjerg, which would be really solid. The wing-backs are going to be a really interesting one. I think you'll go with Perisic again. Perisic, I think he was benched for the 2 games prior to Everton, so he's had a bit of a rest. And obviously, you've got the nice rotation between Sessegnon and Perisic. So I think I'll go for Perisic there. Matt Doherty, I think, is going to be right wing back. And that's an interesting one. I mentioned, I think, earlier in the show that was a real area of concern for me, right wing back spot.
He's coming up against Rashford then, isn't he? Yeah.
So that would definitely be an interesting one. But Matt Doherty finished the season really strong last year. We saw in the Wolves side how good he was as a right wing back, and didn't really get to play that position earlier on in his Spurs career. But now, he's playing as a right wing back, and we've seen him do really well. So that could be a really big positive for Spurs if Matt Doherty kind of gets back to his best. So I'm going to go Matt Doherty there. Longley will be the other change coming in for Ben Davies. And then I think I'll have obviously the rest as Dyer, Romero, and Hugo Lloris as the rest of the team. So yeah, going for a 3-5-2 there for Spurs.
Right. So before we get your prediction, I'm just going to quickly read a few of these. A few have coming pretty quick. Last night, I remember Ronaldo had 5 chances. His position is free many times by other shoot to shoot. That's exactly true. Same as Salah, by the way, yesterday. Absolute madman, missing. And then, same as Nunes. I don't know what's wrong with him.
But I know what's wrong with Nunes. He's just not very good.
He's not good, is he?
Not very good.
That finish, what about when he was through on goal? He just
totally
miskicked everything.
No, that was dreadful. That was dreadful. That was
But he does get in the chances. The one thing that's good about him is he does get in there, and that's what I think you can improve the other side, the finishing side, to a certain level, but you can't get to obviously top-notch degree like.
I mean that's just intelligent. That's just intelligence, isn't it? So you could be right. I mean, I think with Nunes, it might be a bit of confidence, maybe a lack of confidence at the moment.
Yeah. But look at this. I hope this match against Spurs will be a turnover for Ronaldo, hat-trick against like last season. I hope so. I think so. I hope so as well, because it's about time he got himself. Someone made the chances fall to his feet rather than Fred all the time, and Rashford on a header, rather Cristiano on a header, and Cristiano on the ones that Fred had. So we need one effing player in the mid that can control the ball longer than anyone. United players do 1-2 pass and lose the ball so easy. Now,
midfield battle will be key, actually. I think when Spurs do lose control in that midfield, then that's when it can be quite tricky. And especially if we are to play 3-5-2 and have that extra man in midfield, that could be quite tricky. But nah, Ten Hag. No, see, right. So
what are you thinking?
The one thing. No, see, the one thing I think at the moment with United fans, and I know obviously it was, I was saying to my Man United friends who I was watching the game with, obviously disappointed with that draw. 100% at the moment, it's going to be about patience. If you bring in a manager like Eric Ten Hag, it's about project manager. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. No, Jack. Yes, thank you, Jack.
That's probably true. To be fair, Jack. Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. Here's a really interesting one. I'd 100% take Harry Maguire at Spurs, and I know a lot of people might thinking what, but I think in a back three, as a middle centre back, I think that's when Harry Maguire will be at his best.
Please take him. Please take him.
Do you know what? I genuinely would. I think.
How much would you pay for him? That's the question. Then, how much would you say? That's the most I'll ever pay for this guy. I ain't. If you want more than that, I ain't paying. What's the amount that you'd be happy with? Because it's nice to hear from your side what you'd actually pay and what you wouldn't pay. Anything over what?
30 million pounds. I'd pay 30 million pounds for Maguire. People are going to think I'm crazy, right? I think in a contest.
That ain't crazy. That's cheap. Not cheap. That's his real price. But imagine how much it is for us. We bought him for 80, and you want him for 30. So it's exactly what I think he's worth. To be fair, he's worth about 30 mil.
Okay. Then I'd go along 30. Maybe 40 might be pushing. I think 40 is pushing it just based on this form. I think 40 would be pushing it. But maybe Maguire really thinking a back three. Is going to be. No, I don't know. Honestly, I think it's distribution. No, guys, come on. Let's not be horrible. I do believe in. I think Harry Maguire in the right system. I think in a back three as a middle centre back. I think his ball is really good.
Do you guys play a high line?
Not really. No,
right.
Not really. This is the thing as well. Like we're obviously a team that do kind of sit deep and able to kind of create, and then look to play out from the back. Obviously, a lot of people kind of hit us as this counter-attacking team, but Spurs are a team that can build up really well and build up attacks from deep. And I just think Harry Maguire is the player it is on the ball. I think that would be someone that Spurs would be, really useful at Spurs. I think he'd be better than Eric Dyer would in kind of.
To be fair. I agree with you on that. I agree with you there, and I think if you guys don't do that high press, play up high, perfect for him. That's what he likes, and that's what he's good at, and that's why it was good the first season for us. We sat back on the edge of our box, and no one can pace then, isn't it? And then it's the little jinky little things that he might get done every now and again, but that's what he's best at, isn't it? Things in front of him, things in the air.
So a lot of people kind of hit Spurs with, they sit deep and kind of that's all they do. But yeah, it is a weird one, and I know it's obviously it's a pretty controversial shout, but I just think we saw with Eric Dyer as well. He's a player who really did struggle in a back four. But he's gone to play in the middle of a back three, and he's become a much better player. He's just looks so much better. He's got that cover from Romero. He's got that cover from Ben Davies or Clement Longley. So I think if Maguire was given that cover, obviously a team that sits a bit deeper as well, and then looks to play out from the back, I think Harry Maguire's kind of ability on the ball can be a bit underrated at times, and obviously it's been so difficult for him because when you get into that run as a player and you're maybe not in the best form. It's kind of really difficult to get out of that, and United obviously haven't been in maybe the best place as well. So everything kind of becomes quite a lot, and maybe that's I think with Maguire. It's just a bad, a couple of bad performances, and obviously United not doing so well, and that just kind of confidence-wise just kills you. So
I think it's two things there, isn't it? It's like he's on very bad form. And then you're also putting him in a situation where it's highlighting all his weaknesses. Like, so how can you have a player on bad form playing high? It's just going to kill you. So that's what's
100%.
happening.
This is exactly what I've been saying, and that's exactly why. No, no, but Nathan.
No,
Oh.
I agree that he should go to your club. He should go to your club. And
Okay. No, you're trying to sell him. So that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell him to us. Nah, oh, that's an interesting one. I probably would still go Skriniar. I would probably go Skriniar. Again, I think he's a guy who, and as well, has worked very well in the Antonio contest. So I'm not gonna lie. I probably would still go Skriniar. But I'm just saying, I think I've actually got receipts of messages where I have actually previously said I would take him, but all right,
yeah.
okay.
Right, so we're going to finish up. It's gone over the hour, but it's been amazing. It's actually been great.
Yeah.
What is your prediction for Wednesday? Because it is. I think it's going to be a real tough game. I don't think it's going to be loads of goals being scored. I think goals are going to be scored, but I don't think loads are. But what do you think is going to be the score, and who's going to score you?
So I would say, so do you know what? I'm going to just say this from a Spurs perspective. I think the pressure is on us to go and get the win. I think for United, I think you're in that period where I think as fans, you've maybe got to be a bit patient at the moment. You've got a new manager who's trying to implement his ideas, trying to build something. Obviously, bringing in his players at the moment. So I think for United, although you're obviously disappointed you didn't get the win on the weekend, it's just a kind of being about patience and seeing that you're building something. So whereas from Spurs' perspective, I think we're a lot further along in where we are under Conte. So I think we've got to go to United. We've seen obviously you guys get that draw against Newcastle, unable to beat Newcastle at home. So I think the pressure is on us to go and get the win here and really prove that we're serious. I think maybe there has been times where we haven't got results this season, where obviously we've gone to West Ham, didn't get the win. We didn't go and get the win against Arsenal. Obviously, a really disappointing performance there. Chelsea, we didn't win there. So I think we've got to go and prove ourselves if we're really serious about maybe looking to, obviously, it's so difficult to say it, looking to push this Man City side, looking to catch up with Arsenal. I think we've got to go and Spurs have to go and get the win here. It's really tricky to say this because we've got a really poor record at Old Trafford. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Spurs win. I'm gonna go. I know.
You're gonna come to our ground and beat us 2-1, yeah? With our boys playing. Okay.
I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Spurs win. I just think that's how I'm gonna see it play out. I'm gonna have to be positive, unfortunately. I'm sure, obviously, the guys in the comments are gonna think that I'm mental, but
no. Look, that's realistic, to be fair, because I've gone exactly the same. I've gone for a 2-1 win with Rashford and Martial scoring, and if Eriksen plays, it will be Rashford, Eriksen. Because obviously Eriksen will play. If Eriksen plays, he will get a goal. I think it just happens time.
Okay.
And if that's the thing, Martial might not play, so I'll put them both in, depending on who plays. Yeah. And I think Kane will score a pen. Kane don't miss pens, and you'll get a chance. And I think that'll be a goal. So we'll throw the match if Spurs take Maguire.
From our perspective, that's a double win. So
that's a win and a loss. That's definitely a win and a loss.
Okay, look, guys. I would like Maguire, but I'm not that desperate for him. But
no, I get what you mean. To be fair, like all jokes aside, it would do better in your side than our side.
I thought you explained
it worked out better for both, innit?
You explained it perfectly why he's looked like a bad player. Harry Maguire is not a bad player. He's a player who's got himself into a bad situation. And I think Spurs in our system would maybe do well. But I'm kind of sounding a little bit desperate for Harry Maguire.
I'd rather in your team than ours, to be fair, because I don't think he'll fit in our kind of football that we want at all. I never thought he did before he even came. So that was my thoughts on him in the first place. But we all make mistakes. And that's that. Cockrells, we'll see. I'll see you in here on Wednesday at 10:30. We'll see what you got. We'll see what you got to say. And look, if you've got time to come on, I don't know if you're doing anything else at 10:30 on Wednesday, but you can get given a link to jump on and talk about your thoughts on the players' ratings. We give the player ratings as well. So if you can, please come on the show because it's been absolutely great having you on. And
100%.
all the best.
Thank you very much. That was good fun. It was good fun. I mean, it was interesting to see kind of United perspective on the game. I said from a Spurs perspective, I really feel as though this has to be kind of our statement win or our statement performance. To United, it's obviously been, as I said, with United, it's kind of a period at the moment where you are looking to build something and maybe you're not kind of at that finished article. So I think from the Spurs perspective, we feel we're maybe kind of further along the line with Conte. So we've got to go and get a result. We've got to go and get that win. I absolutely love that. 100%. Kane double. That would be nice. I've got him in my FPL team. So 100%. That would be really nice. But yeah, I think for Spurs, we've got to go and produce a statement. It's going to be very difficult because United, I think they're a solid team at the moment. So, but
well,
yeah.
What's he say? We can win if Eriksen's starting, but if he doesn't start, then either a draw or 2-1 to Spurs. Ronaldo needs to start. Our 3-5-2 formation is so much better than a 3-4-3 at the moment.
100% agree there, Jack. 100%.
Yeah. Well, look, the great thing is it's on Wednesday, and you guys have to prove yourselves. We have to prove ourselves to be in there in the mix to stay in this Champions League spots as well. So there's a lot at stake this game. We're at home. We should go there feeling like we should be able to get a win. You guys feel like you need to do the job as well. So let's see how it plays out. But look, thanks for coming on the show. I'm seeing some new names as well. Some new names on there. Please make sure you like and subscribe, because obviously when you watch, sometimes you're just so engrossed in the show you forget. But it does help us and it does support us by building the show and doing more of this for you guys. So yeah, thanks a lot, Jamie, for coming on. It's been absolutely amazing. And I look forward to seeing you either on Wednesday evening or whenever, or the next game that we play. All right?
That'd be great.
Definitely inviting you on there. But peace. See you guys soon.